Hi, how are you doing today?
Good, how
Good.
are
Yeah.
you?
Doing well. I'm Ezra with the F-State magazine. We have with us here today the lovely Isis King, who plays Saul Perez on the wonderful show With Love. And then we also have Todd Grinnell, who plays Dr. Miles Murphy as well. So tell us too about first of all, like your particular character. What made you interested in casting for this particular character?
I was interested because there was not any trans representation in terms of someone who has a family, friendships, love and support, and also a career. So when I saw the script, I was like, oh my gosh, I never thought I would see a character so similar to myself. So I was excited for it, and then when I got it, I was like, literally, it's a dream come true to bring this character to life.
Yeah, I have to say that your character is probably my favorite character. I just love like I don't know, just there's just something about your character that's very endearing. And I really just love the way that you play your character and your character to life.
Oh, thank
Um,
you.
and then
Me too.
my
I agree with
pleasure.
you. Here, here. I'll second that.
Todd, what made you decide to cast your particular character? What did you think or like about this character that just resonated with you?
Well, initially, first of all, I've known Gloria for a long time and we worked together on One Day at a Time. And so she let me know. She's like, I think I have a part for you. And I was like, well, I'm doing it. I'm in. I'm in before I even read anything. But then I read it and I was like, oh, wow. This is really special. This is a really, um, I just loved how open and honest and love filled this character is, um, and yeah, that's what attracted me to it. I mean, listen, we get into some stuff in season two where he's not so perfect, and you know, it, things get a little challenging between Saul and Miles, but ultimately they always come back to the love. Um, it's just so pure, like they're both such pure-hearted characters, and the love is so pure that it's just like a it's magnetic to me.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about the chemistry between the two of you as actors, and how that played out and worked out. Like going into the show, were you two kind of like nervous? Did you think you'd have chemistry? Because I know it's a thing with every actor. Like you're pairing with someone, and you're like, I don't know if we're gonna have chemistry or not.
Yeah, I feel like for me, Gloria let me know that Todd was going to be my same partner. And she kind of said, I want you to meet him beforehand. He worked with me on my last show. He's an amazing person. And then me and Todd talked before. I don't remember if it was a phone call or Zoom, but we like,
Phone,
it
yeah.
was fun. And we just talked for a while and like chopped it up. I mean, that's such an East Coast word to say, but we like chopped it up and like, and he really made me feel comfortable. And even when we got there, he was like, if ever you feel comfortable with something, if you don't feel comfortable saying it, let me know. I'll speak up for you. And he made me feel really safe right away, which was something I was nervous about going into. So getting there and working with Todd and also working with Gloria, like right away, I just felt really comfortable. And we just vibe because we're both like so relaxed and chilled. So it was every time we worked together, I just knew it was going to be a fun, easy breezy day where we just laugh, joke, we get the same done, we're eating snacks at Crafty, and we're just like, it's a fun day.
I totally agree. I mean, I would say like from our first phone call, I think Isis and I were fast friends, and I like I'll just like we laugh at the same stuff, we roll our eyes at the same stuff, and the nice thing is, and here's the best thing, we both love snacks, but we don't like the same snacks, so there's not competition.
Right.
Super important at work.
I
But
mean,
Absolutely.
we
Todd,
just
but to
like
be fair, I'll eat one donut. Todd will sit there and eat like five donuts back to back. So I mean, I
this is
won't eat too
true.
many of this.
This is true. This is true. But it's really easy, it's really easy. And I think that's a testament to ISIS. And yeah, we have a blast. I wish we could do 50 episodes a year.
Yeah, you guys have like really, really great chemistry. Are there any specific moments or scenes that you are particularly excited for the viewers to experience for themselves?
Um, I feel like because we are so lovey-dovey in season one, I feel like bringing Miles into my family and the dynamic of that, like, and how it shifts our conversations we have. I feel like I'm excited for everyone to see that because I feel like that's such a real thing, right? Bringing someone you're in a relationship with to meet your family, or not to meet, but to be around your family, and maybe they call something out where you feel like they don't have the right to because it's your family, and how that could cause conflict and how is that resolved. I feel like that's not something I see. It's something I've experienced and seen in real life, but it's not something I've really seen on camera. So I'm excited for them to kind of see that dynamic and see the ups and downs of the relationship during this season. It's not just all highs, but also the characters always come back to an understanding at the end of the night, which I think is really important.
Yeah, I would say season 2 is all over the place in the best way. And so I think I'm excited for the audience to really just get into this family and go along for the ride. And personally, in terms of Miles, I would say that there's an episode where we get Busy Phelps to play Charlie's mom, my ex-wife. And in that, which is so fun. And at that point in that episode, I think there's a whole evolution within that episode that Miles goes through personally in terms of deepening his understanding of the queer community, what it means to be in a queer relationship, and how he exists in this relationship that I think is, it was a really amazing thing for him to go through and understand. And I'm excited for people to see that and hopefully, open their eyes a little bit. I'm not going to give I'm trying to talk around. I don't want to give spoilers.
Right. I completely get it. I get it.
I think, hopefully it'll be very educational for parts of this country. And I hope that those people see it.
Yeah, I will say that there were parts in the show where there were, obvious like hurdles and challenges of what we see in real everyday life, seeing that reflected in the show. How did you guys like embrace or prepare to face those challenges or overcome those challenges, and to just convey the messages of what you're able to accomplish when challenges are facing or coming your way?
I think just remembering, or even for the characters, remembering how important like your loved ones around you are to situations. Sometimes just getting that support from friends or your chosen family or your partner, how that support can help you feel strong enough to make decisions or strong enough to be your best self and put that best foot forward. I think that's really important. And I feel like through every episode, that's kind of like the continuous, or if that's the right word, that's the common thread, right? Like love, support, and also community in different aspects.
What do you feel like, or what's one thing that you hope that the audience in general like resonates with the show on this, probably different from any other show? Like what makes this particular show stand out? What's unique about this show?
I would say that we get into storylines that haven't been touched on in television really ever, I think. And I love that, Gloria is so great about making sure that unique stories are told in the deepest, most authentic way possible. And that, there's real diversity, real representation. And that, I hope what people take away from that is that as human beings, we need to look for the similarities and not the differences in each other. And hopefully that will make the world a slightly better place.
Absolutely. Isis or Todd as well, like, do you guys have any particular memorable moments that stand out for you with any of the cast members at all?
Um, I would say when we're all together, just being there for the family scenes and just like acting silly and acting like a family, off camera. I feel like that's something that's really memorable to me. I feel like I haven't had a lot of those big family holiday moments in many years with my family. So whenever we can all get together before they yell like and go, like to just be there like a real family, and just act silly together. I just really appreciate those moments. Like we filmed Christmas in June, so it's like to start off the season like that with all of these people to come back together again, like that was just, it's just really memorable. It's something I'll like, what do they say, core memory, core moment. It's something I won't forget because yeah, it's really awesome to be with everyone.
I mean,
And then
yeah, and I'll say the late night shoots with the entire family, that's unforgettable.
yeah, I was gonna say, do you guys feel like you actually like, bonded as a family and created like this unique dynamic as a family?
Definitely. And that just goes back to Gloria, like, and just picking people who she think would all fit in together and us having moments where she invite all of us over for like dinner and like a pool day or something like that. And just the community that comes with it, with her and the kind of world that she created for all of us. And also with all of her shows, to be honest. Because Todd came with her and I know like she also bring like Isabella and like other people from her past show and they're just like that. So it's just a testament to the type of environment Gloria cultivate as our creator, and also just as a really, really awesome person.
Yeah, obviously we've spoken like a lot about family in the show, which is definitely one thread and dynamic that is streamed throughout the show. Another dynamic is that it's pretty sexy, So when it came to those particular scenes of romance, because it is, not only a comedy but a romance as well, a romantic comedy as well. So when it came to those particular scenes, how did you guys prepare for it, or how did you feel about it? Tell us a little bit about those particular scenes.
Like the intimate scenes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we're trying to remember now because I think our biggest sort of intimacy scene was in season 1, and there's an intimacy coordinator on set, and everybody's incredibly sensitive and clears the set, and Isis and I are like big communicators and really respectful, and yeah, I mean I find it to be more comedic behind the scenes than not. It's like we end up just cracking jokes and that kind of stuff. Season 2, we didn't really get any like super sexy scenes. I mean, I feel like those scenes are shot were on other days with other people. I'm looking at Isis, like trying to remember now. But also, I think season 2, there was like a COVID outbreak, not on our set, just like in the world. And
Right, yeah.
Everybody was very concerned about COVID in season 2. At least I was.
Yeah,
So I remember like every time we were kissing, we were like, I hope we don't have COVID.
I would say, yeah, the intimacy coordinator in season 1, I was nervous about it, but me and Todd, like you said, we communicated a lot, and our intimacy coordinator made us feel really comfortable. And it ended up turning into like this thing where we just joked and, like talked, and I was like, oh, okay, this isn't as nerve-wracking as I thought, but it really goes to show how important intimacy coordinators are also on set, to make sure to communicate with everyone and make sure everyone feels comfortable, and also see what their comfort level is for the scene as well.
Well,
Yeah.
Todd and I just thank you so much for taking time out to do this interview. I, again, love the show. You guys have great chemistry as your two individual characters, but also overall in the show. Like, it's a great family dynamic. So thank you guys so much again.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ezra. Nice to chat.
But Awesome. I'm Ezra Jones with the F State Magazine. Thank you guys to both Constance as well as Benito for having this particular interview to discuss With Love, which is a dramatic comedy, a dramedy about siblings and family. So tell us, guys, about like your role and what made the two of you. We'll start with you, Constance, because ladies first. Want to take on this particular role, and then Benito, if you'll tell us what made you take on this particular role.
For me, from the moment I read the script by Gloria Calderon-Kellett, I felt like I wanted to be a part of this family. I felt like I needed to be a part of this family, and I really needed to be part of sending the message out to the world that this family is sending, and it's representational on so many different levels as far as ethnicity, gender, age, and all of it is approached with a respect and a dignity and with love. And when it originally started, we shot this during a major part of the pandemic. We were also disconnected, and we didn't get to have those family gatherings anymore. We didn't get to see, our grandma, because we were worried about, her health and stuff. And so it was the community that we all craved. And and season one, my character had to deal with a lot of hurdles and a lot of suffering and a lot of quiet turmoil. And I feel like we all suffer in silence oftentimes. And I felt like that needed to be reflected, so people felt seen. And especially that it's a Latino program, Latinx community, trans, gay, seniors, white people, we got everybody, right? We needed to be seen. And season two just takes that to another level. There's a lot of joy in season two, and a lot of sexiness in season two. Like I was
Right.
by it, especially Benito and myself. Our characters were like, "Ooh, middle-aged sexy people! Wow!"
Benito, how about you?
Yeah, no, for me it was straight up. I mean, I had met Gloria, our writer and showrunner, for a different project, and it was a comedy, and I fell in love with her writing. So when she circled back and said, would you mind auditioning for this show? At that time, we were doing self-tapes in the house. Well, I still do. And my daughter, who is 20 something, I said, can you be my reader? And the scene that I auditioned for or with is the scene that in season one, where Jorge Jr. comes out to me when I'm smoking a cigarette in the garden. And he says, Dad, I'm sorry if I made you uncomfortable. I said, uncomfortable? I'm proud of you. And he goes, what? And I said, yeah, I just don't know how to help because I don't understand, but I love you and I'm supportive. When my daughter read that scene with me, she says, Dad, are you going to do this show? Because this scene right here needs to be seen. People need to hear this scene. Yeah. And I said, that's what I thought. So I was very jazzed about it. Like it had connected on such a real note with comedy and vulnerability and honesty, and it was still somehow cute and funny.
Yeah.
That one little scene, all of that I thought, and then I knew her comedy from before. I thought, I really hope this goes the way I think it's going to go. And then I found out I was going to work with Constance, and I was like, oh wow, I love her work. I hopefully will have chemistry. And from the second we met, it was, because we worked together years ago and we've known each other socially throughout the years, but we've never really worked with each other. And from our first reading, these two characters came to life.
Yeah.
And from there, I knew I could do this character for the next 10 years because that was all in place. Solid writing from the heart, working with great people and having a great partner to do this with. Let's do it.
Yeah. I second that, what he said.
Yeah, I wanted to say that the show overall I really, really love. I definitely love your characters. Like you guys really like embody the fact of being married and what that looks like and the ups and downs of marriage and how life portrays itself. So I really appreciate both of y'all and y'all's performance in this. One of the things that the two of you both brought up was in terms of the aspect of being there being additional family members that are of the queer community and how that's vastly different and how you chose to deal with those situations. With regards to not only the show, but how did you embrace yourself or come to be able to take on the challenges of addressing those issues in the show?
Well, I'm a mom, so at the core of it all is that's my human, that's my family.
Right.
And I have a scene with Isis King where, first of all, we were so excited because we had not done a scene in season 1. We never got to do a scene together. We got to do a scene together in season 2, and oh my God, it was just, we were looking at each other like, we've never got to do a scene. You're wonderful, and we were just like fangirling each other. And she, she's just so good. I mean, just so honest, yeah, and true and grounded and lovely. And I don't know, it was like kindred spirits. So I just really think that no matter what the family member is, gay, trans, non-binary, we love them. And as an actor and from a human point of view, that is so wonderful and so needed right now. And so it was just I love this family so much. And I really think that all that representation and all the ways in which we authentically deal with trans characters, gay characters, senior moments, health issues, romance, long-term relationships, it's really real and it's respectful. And it's with the whole point of loving the other human that happens to be standing in front of you. So I really think that's the core of how we approached everything.
For me, this was a page out of the slice of life for me. These people in the show are people in my life.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
yeah.
This isn't a leap like we're making a world. This is
exactly.
You know what I mean? It's like this is
right.
the world. So we jumped from, instead of introducing it, to going into the relationships.
Yeah.
I don't care what you self-identify, you're being a jerk right now. I'm being a jerk right now. Let's get to the part. And that's what we do in the show. And that's the part that works really, really well. We get past the initial part of trying to explain the world.
Right.
It is the world. Let's just get on to the part of the relationships. And that's the joy of it. That's the fun of it. That's the clumsiness of it. Gloria does a great job. Like I said, the writing's amazing, but of keeping it messy. Yeah. And by keeping it messy, it really resonates on a large scale because life is messy.
Yeah.
And we don't defend it. We don't defend our choices and our messes. And because of X, Y, or Z, we go, yeah, I'm a mess.
Well, this series obviously has generated like a lot of buzz and anticipation with not only its first season, but obviously coming around for season 2. So congratulations for making it to season 2. So that's super, super awesome.
Right.
I love the show. I love the show. I really think it's a great show. So I definitely encourage people to see it and watch it. Yeah. What do you guys think makes this particular show like unique and different from other shows in its particular genre for you guys?
I think it's because I don't know. First of all, so much diversity. Like, it's like the real world. Like, I used to always think when we were in New York, that Friends, like, where in New York does that exist? Where there's only a certain kind of people,
right.
no other languages, and there's no other ethnicities. And to me, this show is more reflective of society and how we all actually are. Like, you don't get to choose who's in your family. You don't get to, I mean, right. Life includes a lot of people. If I go to the corner deli, I'm not everybody's going to look exactly like me. And I think that's the most wonderful aspect of this show is it speaks to so many different people. So many different people feel seen. And that's rare. And to me, that's one of the biggest gifts of the show.
I think also what separates us is how it's a very classy show, in its look and its style. It's just slick. It really is. And And I love that. I love that this comedy is wrapped up in this fashion that makes this, wonderful show as well. Beautiful homes, beautiful people, beautiful clothes, beautiful food. I mean, the food porn on this thing is ridiculous. It's just beautiful plate after beautiful plate. But yet, all of this is part of the community that is filled with love, this community that is supportive, this community that is inviting and welcoming.
Yeah, I'm very proud to be of this upwardly mobile Latino community. Like when I first saw our house, Gloria brought me onto this stage and she said, "Oh, we're building the house. Would you like to come see it?" And I saw it and I was like, "Oh my God, we are out of the barrio. We have this magnificent house." And the clothes that we got to wear, I had Jimmy Choo shoes on. I was like, "This is beautiful." Brown people dressed. It just was so refreshing. Yes, upwardly mobile.
And what's interesting, I played the president like 3 or 4 times. And so every time I play I have like, entourage of cars and great suits and fancy homes and all this stuff. And when she told me that, she goes, "Hey, Benito, we're not in the barrio." I'm like, huh? And then I start to realize that oftentimes that is our portrayal. That's the portrayal of the Latino lifestyle, is like they're less than. And that's not what the show is. The show is not that at all. And
we're not, look, we're in the barrio, but we're other places as well. Like if you go to the White House, Jill Biden's head of her team is Latina. Like, where's that character?
Yeah.
Right. How do you two think that audiences will relate to the show, and how do you hope that they take the show?
Well, my personal experience, the people who have seen the show love the show. They just go, "Wow, how fun was that?" And it goes by like that, because you're laughing, you're crying, end of the hour, and like, oh, next one. And there are only 5 episodes in the first season, only 6 in the second season. We're just getting warmed up.
Right.
That's all right. That's just getting started. But I really think the audiences can relate to the characters a lot, especially our characters, because we either like somebody's parent or like themselves, and they really can resonate with that.
I also think that the biggest vote of confidence for the show, or biggest praise for the show, is a couple of people like, "Can you adopt me? I want to be part of it." And I'm thinking, they get it. They feel it. They want to be part of it. And I think that's the biggest compliment in the world. You want to go be in the Diaz house. You want to be part of the Diaz family. And I would say, as Beatriz and Jorge would say, if I may speak for you, Benito, come on, bring it. We love everybody.
Well, I accept the invitation to join the family. Again, congratulations with season 2 of the dinner. Congratulations with season 2 of the show. Thank you again, both, for taking this time out to do this interview, and I wish both of you much, much, much success in the future.
Yay!
Thank you so much.